Welcome to my ultimate guide on how to obtain and effectively use the Golden Cape. First off, you'll want to speak to the wise old man south of the Grand Exchange. It's not required, but when you do right-click him, you have the option to combine shards and reclaim shards just in case you destroy it for bank space. There is another way, and that would be the community tab that is on your settings. It's pretty much where you normally go for like the grouping system, but it will be event. Now there is a total of 10 shards, but only 8 are required to make the cape. For the first one, it depends if you link your JetX account or not, which it kind of depends. I did link another account to see if I do get the 2 shards. I do, but when I went on my laptop or my phone to go on that account that was linked, it says I was unable to because the account is previously locked towards another device. So I'm not sure if it's kind of like mandatory or not, but I'm only able to play that account while I am on the computer, which I find super odd. But anyway, next up will be the quest shard, and that will be when you complete new foundations, murder on the border, and the unwelcome guest. This is 3 quests for that 1 shard. For the combat, this is pretty much goes with the boss shard. It depends if you want to do bosses, which I highly suggest you to do Arc Glacier Zero mechanic, as you'll be able to do about 70 to maybe 80 Glacier boss kills an hour, which that is the quickest way to get the boss shard. For combat, you pretty much just hope that you get it while you're going for the boss shard. If not, you could do like Slayer or something. For the gathering, this pairs perfectly well while you are working towards the artisan shard, and that is because right here on screen he always adds arc relic that does require 83 archaeology. While you're woodcutting, you'll also get fire making experience, which, yes, you're able to get both shards at the same exact time while you are woodcutting. So I mean it's 2 in 1, and the ability to the right will be the bait and switch, which is for cooking and fishing. Keep in mind that the cooking experience is 50% of normally what you would get while you are cooking. And a perfect example would be, let's say you want to cut oak trees. Since you get them super quick, you'll be able to have a high chance of getting both the gathering and the artisan. The same thing goes with the fishing and cooking. Those 2 shards are able to work at the same time. The support, the easiest way for this one would have to be completing Slayer tasks. You want to complete them at the lowest Slayer NPC, who is, I believe, Jacqueline is how you pronounce her name, who is just located in Lumbridge. She'll assign some super easy tasks like killing cows, chickens, birds, skeletons, zombies, goblins. That is the very quickest way of doing it. Or you can also do dungeoneering floors. You'll rush floor 1 to maybe 30 on complexity 1. That way each floor is about 2-3 minutes max, although the Slayer task can be much quicker. The clue shard, pretty much if you do have the clue outfit, you want to do easy clues, as you're able to do about 80 clues an hour. Granted, you do have a preset and you have knowledge of like where to go instantly with all the teleports available. Or you can get this from doing the sandy clue caskets at the Lumbridge beach. In which case, if you get a hard task or a task that requires a lot of time to get to, you are able to destroy that sandy clue, talk back to Reina. She'll keep the clue progress on it, but she'll change the clue step, in which case you can keep destroying until you just constantly keep getting the beach clues. And each step you do, you have a chance to get the clue shard. The next one will be bossing. The easiest way would be doing Arc Laser Zero Mechanic, as I did say earlier. And yes, you are able to get this from doing barrels, regular barrels. In which case, you won't have a chance for each brother killed, but when you loot the chest. The next one will be buy, which is either 25 mil cash or 10,000 proteins. The choice is up to you. And lastly, if you do have the Premier membership, when you log in, you'll get 1 shard. And the time remaining on the screen is when you're able to make the cape and gain its effect. The effect is extremely powerful, and that is because when we scroll up to a little information at the top, it will say we'll get the Golden Security, which has a 5% chance to reduce damage by 99%. This is basically like the lucky perk, except when you do have this buff active, you will not get a boss timer, kill, or it won't count for like the high scorers. So just keep that in mind. There is another one which will be the Golden Consignment. This is infinite importers that lasts 28 days from when you claim the cape. So if you really want, you could wait until there's like 2 days left, make their cape, and then you'll have access to that option. And you do get 3 keepsake keys. Now I do have 7 shards, so let's speak to the wise old man. And he'll say, hello, welcome to the Golden Cape. Didn't we create a Golden Partyhat together? He's like, indeed we did, and now I present a brand new item. We celebrate the upcoming launch of Jetix accounts and thought we should do something special. So I'll just pretty much like spacebar this part because he just says create the 8 shards, which I did show. And then right here we could, I guess, let me see if these proteins will actually work on him or not. View event. Go north and we'll be going east, and this is just to talk to the NPC that requires either 25 mil cash or to 10,000 proteins, in which case we'll be speaking to Nick. Not to be confused with Vic, who is for bonus XP. So we'll speak to him. He's like, hey you. He's like, wanna help? He's like, no. And then he'll ask, I can get you a shard for either 25 mil cash or 10,000 proteins, in which case you do have an option. And I will probably be the first and only person doing this with 10,000 protein items. After that, we now have all 8 golden shards, in which case we can just right click teleport. Just because I'm a little bit lazy, we'll speak to the wise old man, but this time we'll right click, combine, and remember, you could wait until the last 2 days, as combining it will give you the effect for 28 days from when you make it. So, spacebar, and voila. On your debuff bar, your buff bar, you'll get both icons that does say it. You'll also get 3 keepsake keys, and for the next 4 weeks, you'll have those buffs for it, which you are able to toggle on and off. And to toggle it, so let's speak to him. Hit option 1 that you want to toggle the effects he casted on him. And this is if you're PVMing. You'll want to remove the golden security so it's disabled. That way, now you have unlimited porters for whatever you want to do. And since we did get 3 keepsake keys, I'll show you how to actually use them, as some players have been asking, we get them, but how do you use it? So, make your way to a bank, go to the customations, make sure you're on wardrobe, and you want to hit the second icon, the keepsake box. Afterwards, scroll all the way to the right, and here it will say the keepsake slots 80 out of 100 are available. At the top of the screen, you will see I have 3 keepsakes keys right there, in which case, go to the bank, find an item you want to keepsake. In my case, I'll be doing a Fremnik blade. So, we'll click it from the inventory, drag it to the box where it's highlighted, and you will get a message saying that you want to confirm it. This will technically put the item like a paperweight. It will be a cosmetic override, which you're able to reclaim at any time by right-clicking the square box of whatever item is and hit the reclaim. You'll get the item back, but you will not get the keepsake key back. So choose your items wisely. After that, time to go over the best places to use the infinite porters. First off will be for the combat portion of this, and I am entirely killing cows, which thankfully they have increased the area loot that was previously on mobile, as that was like 7-8 tiles. If you had some of the Lorehound, he increased that even more. Oh wow, I can't believe my HSR just doubled the bones. Anyway, I'm doing cows for 2 reasons. 1, for the bones for necromancy, and 2, because the Sign Porter does work for the raw beef and the cowhide. So, pretty much you pick up every single loot, and the cows spawn the most fastest time here compared to any other location. So again, if you want to farm bones while you are making some GP, collecting their hide and raw beef, this is a very good example. Another good spot would be dragons, as if you do have the Death Note relic, it will automatically note the bones, and their hide, it will automatically bank that. There is a couple other NPCs that you are able to utilize this, but I find that killing cows is actually pretty good, since I will be collecting about maybe 5 or 10,000 bones. So, I mean, I might as well just collect everything. And don't forget to have your area loot enabled. Next up will be for archaeology, in which case, honestly, this is somewhat good if you are going for 120, as you use a ton of porters. In fact, going to 120 archaeology does on average cost about 5,000 sign of porters at the highest tier. So it's also pretty much 250,000 charges. But if you want to do this for like a money making method, you can collect at the material cache, in which case, if you are in iron, you could do the Hellfire, Metal, and the Blood of Orcus, as those are used for the binding contracts. Or, if you are like a main account, you could do the Warforge spot level 115 for hopefully the Spear of Annihilation tip. Just remember that the refined perk does work for this to extend the material cache, in which case in the background I cleared all 3 instantly. Otherwise you'll just have to world hop constantly, which can be quite annoying. Next will be Hunter, and one of the few places this does work is at the decaying Lumbridge Guards south of the entrance to Croasis. These fungal spores are fairly good for your zygomites at the player-owned farm, and you save a ton of porters while you are getting very good hunter experience, about 450,000 XP per hour, without using decorated hunter urns. Just make sure to wear the hunter outfit and the Yatui stick for increased experience. Afterwards, you can just sell the fungal spore in the Grand Exchange, or again, use it for your player-owned farms. Remember how I said you need the decorated hunting urns? The next one works perfectly, and that will be mining. For mining, make sure if you're mining the ores, you have the Juju potion and the stone sprites accordingly to that ore you are mining. If you're not too worried about ore, mainly if you're an iron, you are able to mine the soft clay at a thill so that you're able to easily work on collecting the soft clay, getting crafting experience to train your gathering skills with all the clay that you do have. So this is like the very best spot to do it. And some other ideas would have to be the gemstones in Alcread, which is better than the Lunar Isles, or you are able to mine pure essence with the Sino Porter. As previously, well, I made this video a long time ago, but mining with the Sino Porter effect during Fresh Start Worlds, I was getting 2.8 thousand pure essence hourly, but I was also dropping them, in which case you are able to get about 4,000 in that case. And again, this is just for like AFK mining if you want, because there are better ways to get the pure essence. I mean, you pretty much want to do Absol Demons, the Savage, in which case you will get far better pure essence per hour, but this is if you just went to AFK mining, and this is a viable method, as again, with Necromancy coming up, we will need bars from bronze all the way to Bainite. So this is a perfect use of collecting all those ore. Just remember to have those stone sprites and the Juju potion. The next one, in my opinion, will be the absolute best way to utilize this is by fishing at the Menopause VIP area for catfish, peltfish, and desert soul. This is because mainly if you are an iron, this is the food you use even while you are doing God War Dungeon 2 for all those raw shark drops, in which case you can cook. Just remember this, if you do have the bait and switch relic, that does require 99 archaeology, you will be pumping out so many fish per hour that you'll be able to sustain yourself for a long time. So I would say maybe do this for about 10 hours and you'll have plenty of fish. And yes, in my inventory, you do see 500,000 desert souls and 50,000 peltfish. And I did not buy all of this. Well, I did buy some for 1 coin, but I did mainly fish this while using sign up porters. But with unlimited porters, I can freely go for my goal of having 1 mil of all fish cooked. Again, the bait and switch relic does give you half the normal cooking experience, but after your 99 cooking, it does not matter too much because you'll pretty much be saving double the time, because cooking takes a long time to do. As for mining, you are able to do the mineral deposits for the Blessed Flask if you want. And while I am in this location, which will be the final spot, and that will be for training wood cutting. Wood cutting is honestly not really suggested, except if you are cutting acacia trees, as these will always give you simple components. Everywhere else for woodcutting, I mean, if you want, you could do mahogany or teak, although I will suggest mahogany once you are 114 invention, and that is so that you don't have to waste, I believe, 500 coins or 1,000 coins to convert them into planks, in which case you want to make the invention machine, the plank maker, so that you're able to get somewhat free, as you will no longer need raw GP. You'll just need divine porters, which is way easier to get. Or you could also make like divine chargers, charger jumbo machine up. With that, thank you all so much for watching this extremely long guide on how to effectively obtain and utilize all of the porter effects for most of the skills. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, as it really does help.